My name is John Lai, and today we've got a special guest with us, Mr. Cal Cox, who's been, named numerous times as #1 DJ of Mix Magazine. Welcome to our interview session.
Thank you.
So how are you feeling today after your epic performance last night?
Yeah, really good. The last time I was there was 2 years ago, and that's my first time at Rhythm and Vines, and first time here in Gisborne also. And what I thought I would do to make it even more unique was to ride here on motorcycles.
Yeah.
So for me to be able to do something like that, because most DJs or performing artists choose not to do that.
Yeah.
Choose to come in, private jet, limousine, whatever, hotel, to see the gig, and then walk away from New Zealand and not really seen it. So I decided that I wanted to culturally see what it's like to be here and understand how people really enjoy the fact that New Zealand is a place which is very special for a lot of people, and of course Rhythm and Vines is a big part of that culture, especially for the now generation that's into the music, the culture, the reason why, the fashion, and to have a good time by that. For me, is to understand it a little bit more by seeing the country for what it is.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome, Cal. So let's get straight into it. So your calcox.com. We had a look at your website. It's pretty flash. It's one of the flash website personally I've seen myself, especially the video intro.
Images, yes.
Yeah, that was pretty slick.
Yeah.
So in regards to technology usage, could you comment on how vital it is as a DJ to learn and see what new technology is out there?
I think so. I mean, I'm always striving to see what's around the corner, in a sense of what excites me, excites everyone else.
Yeah.
And I've always been like that. From the first time I had a transistor radio, I kind of pulled it apart and to see how it worked, and I put it back, it didn't work at all.
Awesome. So technology has already been part of your life since you were real young already.
Already, yeah. I've always been inquisitive about the reason why things work, and if they do work, how can we utilize that? And of course, with today's media, from my day, everything was down on tape.
Yeah.
That's how we recorded it, and now everything's digitized.
Yeah.
But the sound quality is better. Things last a lot longer, and things move on and progress into something which we can basically get our hands on. It's user friendly, not like it used to be many years ago. So from the basis of me, playing music, I've gone from playing vinyl into now playing all my music from my laptop.
Awesome.
So this is something of which some people don't see as something which is progressive, because of the aspect of performance is taken away based on the artistry of what we used to create when we were playing vinyl. Yeah. But meanwhile, it has become important for the people that are into it now get to understand that that's what it used to be like, and it is what it is today.
Awesome. So talking about the Apple iPad, we're currently seeing a lot of Apple iPads being used, with various established DJs. So what are your thoughts on this, and do you see yourself using the iPad, to compose your music in the future?
Well, I'll definitely. I bought one, so I know what it's all about.
Yeah.
I love the idea that you can basically read a book, watch a movie, make music.
Yeah.
All in one go. And then not only that, you can perform music from it as well if you choose to do it.
Sure.
One of the biggest problems that Apple iPad has in a sense of performance is that not a lot of people know what's going on by what you're doing.
Sure.
So, you could really, have just a blank piece of paper or something like that and hold it in your hand as an iPad and pretend that you're doing something. People need to see what you can really create with this, and it's difficult, I think, to perform it. But if you're showing people what you can do by how powerful it really is, it's incredible. I mean, if I use the Apple iPad for any reason, it would be as a controller for what I'm using, which is currently now Traktor. And Traktor basically is a music program that I'm able to DJ my performances from. And the iPad will just be as an extended controller, purely based on that. I'm using controllers anyway for my Traktor, but the iPad also gives you the opportunity to do that from that, which is even more exciting.
Cool. So in terms of a new technology, we've seen lots of, what's a DJ perception? Because there's a lot of DJs like yourself who move forward in terms of time with technology, and there's lots of DJs who are old school, stick to good old vinyls, never conform to new technology. So what do you stand say? Do they have to, or is it purely based on just, personal you know, how they play music.
Well, the biggest problem that people have when they're playing vinyl is the elements. The elements is if the record isn't cut very well, sure. the sound is prone to feedback, wow and flutter, which basically makes the needle skip, and you end up with a bad mix. Yeah. Secondly, there's not many companies making vinyl anymore. Yeah. So that means if you are playing vinyl, you're not really playing any new current records. Yeah. And thirdly, things have moved on such a long way now from playing vinyl that, you know, the now generation are not too concerned now if you're playing vinyl or if you're playing the computer. As long as the music's good and you believe in what you're doing and how you're doing it, I think now people accept the fact that you know, the digital age has come, yeah. and we can basically only embrace that. Yeah. The ones that stand fast are the ones that are basically going to get left behind, and that's the biggest problem that people yeah. who play vinyl will have. And it's going to be tough coming from me because, I mean, I grew up with vinyl. I have over 150,000 pieces of in my yeah. garage, yeah. sitting there collecting dust. Yeah. But meanwhile, I understand that some people like the sexiness of you know, playing vinyl, yeah. and how it smells. You know, when you put a needle on the record, you know, that whole...
It's like the new book kind of feeling.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But the thing is, you know, things do move on. You know, it was like many years ago having a mobile phone which was as big as a house, and now you got one in your pocket. Yeah. That's what's basically what's happened here, and it's a shame to see it go, because even Pioneer, Technics have announced that they basically have stopped making the Technics turntable. Yeah. So that's a crying shame in some ways, but no one's buying them because they're too expensive, and no one's really making vinyl. So why yeah. would you make any more turntables? So yeah. that's just a mark of what's going on right now.
Sure, awesome. So you know, we've basically seen you actively using social media platforms to like Facebook pages and Twitter to kind of engage and talk to your audience and your fans. So you know, can you comment on the way in which you've marketed yourself? You know, how has it changed as a musician when you first started to now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the only media that we used to have, we still have physically today, is magazines, yeah. and there was only maybe 3 or 4 yeah. magazines that was dedicated for dance music, and in the early days it was just black music, so yeah. That was considered soul, funk, jazz, whatever. But now it's a market which has been opened doors for all sorts of music to come through, and also the social media network has enabled people to get their hands yeah. on information on what's going on with certain DJs, certain sounds, certain movements, certain yeah. places that are rocking it. From a worldwide point of view, when we never had that, with all the magazines and stuff we had in the early days was just regional, yeah. never really crossed to Argentina or Chile or, sure. or Japan or yeah. any of these places. It was just primarily England and possibly Germany, yeah. and that was it. So yeah. it's really has enabled us to become worldwide, internationally known, yeah, yeah. really based on people from all over the world want to know who we are, what we're about, and
that's awesome.
And the concept of why we do what we do.
Yeah.
So obviously Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, you know, all of these things that's come to us now. We're able to click on the button and to find out exactly what makes Carl Cox tick.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then they get to see real-time updates of where you are, like especially your you know, the from Auckland to Gisborne straight away. Last night I saw it. You guys put day 3 of your trip already, so you know it's real time as well. So your fans get to follow you throughout the journey, even though they're not there personally with you. They get to follow you as well.
Yeah, we never was able to do that before, and the only way we could do it was basically maybe through radio. Yeah. And that's only if you tuned in at the time. We were able to basically make an update on the radio. I remember 2 years ago, George FM were following us around New Zealand, and every morning, around about this time, I'd be on George FM Live to tell them people where I was. Yeah. And now with the new media what we have, you know, even this morning I was able to put up what our next step is, or what we're going to do now, and also the road coming through to Gisborne, the Gorge Road was amazing, so we put up a little clip from that as well, and so people can really see that we're actually doing this stuff. You know, we're not just talking it up; it's actually happening. Soon now, after I've spoken to yourself, I'll be jumping straight on a bike and going straight to Wellington after this. Yeah. So it's not all glitz and glamour. Yeah. You know how people see that it is. You know, we do get up in the morning and we suit up and we get on with it, and I think a lot of people can inspire to what we're doing.
Awesome. So I'm not too sure if you heard the news that, with Kanye West using basically Twitter and Ustream, as a comeback platform, and also indie band OK Go as well use YouTube as their, a platform for their brand. So do you think 2011 we'll see more DJs jumping on the social space? Like now they see that, like yourself, like Kanye West, like your OK Go, using this, kind of cutting the middleman out and kind of put what they want as content out to the masses?
Yeah, I think it's really good that you're able to do what you want to do and how you want to be perceived, rather than someone saying you should look like this, or you should play that, or you should make this to become whoever you are.
Yeah.
Because, rise and fall, it doesn't matter, because there's always people that are really interested in what you're doing as an individual and the reason why. I think that goes a long way, based on why you want to do certain things. And I think with what we're able to ascertain now with this new media social network is that you're able to more or less make your own video and your own music and put it up on YouTube, and whether you get one hit or you get a million hits, it's the fact that you've done it is brilliant.
Awesome.
And without someone saying, well, you can't do it because of these issues and reasons why, and also it's going to cost you this amount of money and everything else like that, to the point that it doesn't happen, is really a sad day for people who are very creative in their field.
Yeah, sure.
So I really have embraced it. I grab it with both hands, and I think for the 21st century of where we are now, this is the beginning of a new age, in the sense of what we can feel, that we can basically connect with people with ideas, and I think someone out there will think that what you've done is brilliant, and then maybe they want to get in contact with you based on what you want to do to enhance what you're doing, or even to support that. Well, that's brilliant. I think in the end of the day, and in the end, where there's so much talent out there which gets suppressed in such a way that this basically gives you a great outlet for people who really feel that they have something to offer in life.
Awesome. So, MySpace. This year's just been a up and down, thing for MySpace with their new design, with just basically tearing it apart and putting it back up again. So, do you think MySpace still have a strong presence within the music community or even DJ community? Yeah,
they used to have a strong presence. Unfortunately, things will always get superseded. Sometimes in life it's always like that. If you think about someone that has a small fishing boat, and then someone that has a massive super yacht, and then someone else has a massive super yacht after that, it's always going to be someone else that's going to be around the corner looking to see what's happening. And I started off with MySpace, but I wasn't really 100% really into it. Because I just found it in some ways uncontrollable, in a sense of content and people getting to you, the things you wanted and you didn't want. Where Facebook for me was you was able to control it of content on people that you want and you did want. Twitter is open for everybody.
Sure.
So do what you like with Twitter. It gets people into so much trouble, I can't tell you. But there it is, So in some ways, MySpace got left behind. It was the first, and people got into it. But the thing is, when Facebook came around, a lot of people really saw it as something a little bit more serious than just people, from schools or whatever. MySpace in there. Their friends with pictures and this sort of stuff. Facebook became a bit more serious. So if anything, MySpace is coming in second, and they'll be always following and not leading anymore.
That's awesome. So, into our last two questions. What is Calcoc's 3 top social media platforms and why?
Well, for sure, I really enjoy the fact that my website is the thing that is the official information network for me. And as you can imagine, I spend quite a lot of money doing that. And it will always remain to be what it is. I think if I've set a platform for myself which is here, then my website has to be the same.
Sure.
And Rise and Fall, I'll always make sure that remains. So people really, if they really want to know definitely what Calcox is all about, I think my website is the thing that is the thing that represents who I am. Secondly, I think Facebook has been something which has completely whitewashed everything. In a sense of from presidents to
everything,
to everything. Face phenomena really. And with that, I find that a lot of people don't really care too much about anything else on Facebook. But of course, we also link Facebook with Twitter. And I don't really personally run for Twitter. I have someone that does the admin for that.
Sure.
But because there's just no way that I can be on this network the whole time. But I find I use Facebook personally myself quite a lot.
Yeah, sure.
But these are the three things that I utilise as social media platforms.
Awesome. So, lastly, this last section we like to call the last word. What word of wisdom would you give, to up and coming DJs that they are trying to basically, be what you're doing right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a good question and a great question for me, especially from where I'm at, because I really didn't have the platforms of what everyone has today to be able to become successful, known, or even followed and supported. But I've always done what I've done because I believe in music. I believe in myself, my own ability, and the reason why I do what I do is because I love it. And I try not to follow anyone. I always want to become the leader of everything in the sense of what happens next with music and everything that goes with it. And I truly believe that. And so I find quite a lot of DJs are following other DJs at the moment, and they don't need to do that. They just need to play from their heart and the soul and with passion. And if they have that, then you definitely go far.
You go far. Awesome. Well, thank you for your time, Kaka. Thank you for taking your time for this interview, and we have an amazing trip for this 3 weeks, enjoying New Zealand and also Sydney. So thank you. So cheers for that.
Perfect.